Whoops, wrong thing. You know, one of these days I'm going to get better at these slides. Just going to turn on a little something. There we go. Whoops. There we go. Hey, Laura, Laura, good to see you. Connor, Z-Crates, good to see you. There we go. Sorry. I probably should have made sure everything was right beforehand. All right. That should be good to go now. All right. Okay, we are all ready. So, hello everyone. This is Steven from Tostemac, and welcome to the 10-year anniversary. That's right. A decade from today, me and Thomas released our first ever video for the channel. What started out as simple gaming, where we just record gameplay videos and our reactions to playing the game, evolved into something that, in all honesty, I never expected it to. This channel, along with, connecting with other organizations, has given me opportunities that I previously would never have dreamed of before. Whether it be working with a nonprofit organization like Best Buddies, or like being a voice actor, or like making videos that are in the thousands or tens of thousands of views. And I have all of you to thank for that. Whether you came here from the very beginning, or maybe you were here just recently, all of you are the reason as to why Tostemac has grown to where it is today. And hopefully together we can take it to even greater heights. So, a lot of you are probably wondering, how are things going to be different this time? What is going to make the 10-year anniversary a special occasion? Well, during the month of January where I had off, during the month of January that I had off, I had some time to think about it. And I had to really think hard about it, because like last year was the biggest year for Tostemac. But for this year, instead of trying to go bigger, I want to do better. This year, we'll be focused a bit more on getting back to my roots. Getting back to why I enjoy making content in the first place. Because last year, while we had some great successes, I felt like the content was becoming a one-trick pony. And Tostemac, for those that have been around for a long time, was never meant to be a one-trick pony. So, we have a lot of things to announce, a lot of things to go over. Let's get started. So, hey, Catcraft over on Twitch. Hey, how's it going? So, as you see right here, got the 10-year anniversary. What you see on the left, for those who came to the channel recently, are actually the original Tostemac avatars. And this was about like, what, maybe, I'd say easily about 6 or 7 years ago. This was from a college friend of mine, and he actually made those avatars for me. And the ones on the right are the more familiar and up-to-date avatars you see today. So, just want to show a little comparative contrast. Now, let's see if I can do this right. There we go. Now, ever since... Hey, Lone Wanderer Colin, how's it going? Thank you, thank you. Now, what you see here are actually some of the original channel designs for Tostemac. And as you can see, we've come a very long way. Like, the one that looks like a Mario paint grid is actually my very first channel art that I did around 10 years ago. So, Thomas actually did the pixel avatars for me and Steven. For me and Thomas, I should say. Oh, God, I'm turning into mom. And, it was very simplistic. Like, you could really tell that, back then, I had no idea what I was doing. I mean, we got Undertale characters, Captain Falcon about to punch a hammer, bro. Toby Fox's dog getting a star. Yeah, that's a very bad idea. Oh, yeah. Z-Grades, you didn't know that? So, way back when me and Thomas first started. Actually, let me turn the game audio down just a little bit. There we go. There we go. So, back when me and Thomas first started, our very first playthrough was Undertale. So we were doing Undertale, and we threw a little bit of Smash Brothers in there, and Mario Maker. So those were among our first playthroughs that we ever did. Because remember, this was back when autism content was not even on the channel. Tostemac was strictly gaming. Kakar says, I don't know why, but the one on the top right just makes me happy. Just because it reminds me of, like, classic YouTubers. Yeah, that was actually kind of like what we were going for on the top right. So the top right was a little more updated. And I think it was a combination of me playing around with different text styles and also trying to get a better background. Because the one on the top left, you know, it looks like something from the Jumpstart series. Like, if anyone remembers the Jumpstart computer games. So, with the top right, got a little bit better. But then, on the bottom left, is when we started to get a more professional appearance. Like the one you see in outer space, you see like the old avatar figures that we used to use. And then on the top right, like on the bottom left, what you see right there was back when we were still doing video gaming and a little bit of autism videos. And then at the bottom right, you see that we kind of shifted from gaming to autism. So it was at that point where the bottom right was created that it was like a full shift to, okay, the main focus of the channel is autism now. The bottom right gives me 2010 YouTube vibes. Yep, that's how it was back in the day. And then, as you can see here, we have the silver logo right here. All the way until like a year or two ago, when we got the new updated avatars, thanks to Aline_VT, which I haven't heard from her in a while. I should probably check on her. Yeah, Aline, she did an amazing job with, you know, the background, the avatars, and the logo. So, hopefully, you know, that could kind of continue, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe we keep working with Aline. Maybe something happened. I don't know. But yeah, but that's like the evolution of how Tostemac has evolved over the course of 10 years, which is a very long time. And then just to give you an idea of like how the content was back in the day, like what you see on the left is my very first autism video. There was no green screen effect, and clearly I had no idea how to do audio for the life of me, because like the audio in that first ever video was like, the music was like blasting out loud. Like I don't even feel comfortable showing that first video because of how loud and cringe it was. There we go. But now, as you can see, hey Eve, good to see you. But now, where we have the autism videos, it's something I can show on a professional level. It's something I can show to a school presentation in February last year. This kind of content that got me commissioned to make a promo video for the Cognity. And even like, and later on this year, I'm planning to be a guest speaker for Best Buddies. And it's all because of this, how Tostemac has evolved, and all because of you and your support. So, it means a lot. So, I want to take the moment to show you my progression through the course of 10 years and to say thank you so much for all the support. You're the reason I'm here. The reason that the channel continues to grow. And the reason that, you know, I can try new and different things, you know. Because like you, all of you keep coming back for more, loving the content I make. And I really hope I can keep making amazing content for all of you. C-Create says, audio balancing. The first thing you need to learn as a content creator. Yeah, for about, I'd say about the first 5 or 6 autism videos, I did not do that. Like, the audio of the music and my audio were competing against each other on a regular basis. And it wasn't until later on it was like, wait a minute, maybe the music's too loud. So, the big question we have today is, where do we go? The question today is, where do we go from here? Now, as I said, instead of focusing on growing the channel bigger, so I'm just trying to pull up the stream on my, there we go. Instead of trying to grow the channel bigger, we tried to make it better, going back to the roots. So, what does that mean for Tostemac? There's quite a lot to break down, so hope you grab your pens and papers or whatever it is you need to take notes, because there's a lot. But we're going to break it down into 3 sections. First is the schedules, like what's content going to look here forward. Number 2 is we're actually going to change up the membership of the Tostemac Chow Club. I'll explain that in a bit. And finally, I will end it with announcing what the month of April is going to be. Because for those that have been with Tostemac for a while, you know that April is usually Autism Awareness and Acceptance Month. But for me, someone who does autism content on the regular, that's pretty redundant to me. So, for the month of April, I always try something new. Something I haven't done before, in the hopes of inspiring other people to try new things themselves. But we'll get to that later. So, first things first. What are we going to do about the YouTube content? Let's start with the video schedules. Ever since the very beginning, Tostemac has always had a schedule for the videos, so you know what to expect and when to expect. In fact, if you look back here on the bottom left, me and Thomas used to post 4 videos per week. Yes, we posted content on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. And when we first started out, we kind of had to. It was all part of the grind. Like, Monday, Wednesday, Friday would be gaming videos, and then the Saturdays would be the autism videos. It wasn't until the autism videos kicked up that we started to steer away from, the gaming content. The Horrors Squad HD Gaming. Oh, Nicholas, I haven't seen you in a long time. How have you been, man? For those who don't know, Nicholas is actually one of my cousins and one of my favorite cousins. Like, it's been a long time. How have you been? And Eve says, 4 videos per week? Yes, we did that. And what we would do is, Thomas and I would actually record a bunch of gameplay videos. I would piece it all together, and then boom, we would release it. And remember, keep this in mind. Back then, we didn't do so much heavy editing as I do now. So it was pretty easy to get gameplay videos out there. It's just they weren't really getting that much traction. So, ever since the beginning, we've always had a schedule. But this was at a time when me and Thomas didn't have so many obligations. We had a lot more free time. But nowadays, it's not the case. Nowadays, Thomas, who you don't see that much on the channel anymore, he's actually doing his own things now. He's streaming on his very own channel and is doing very well. He actually earns money from the streams. He's also been doing commission work for music and different art pieces for like video games, indie video games, the smaller ones. And as for me, I try to do this channel. I also have my full-time job. I'm trying to work with Best Buddies. I'm also working on something else that I can't talk about yet. And I also want to do voice acting stuff. So there's not really as much time free to me and Thomas as there used to be. And last year, it really affected me in terms like, getting the content out and really affecting, my mindset about making content in the first place. I want to get back to enjoying the content and still making sure it's up to my standards. Secret says, 4 videos a week? I could never do that as an animator. Yeah, try to imagine doing 4 videos a week as an animator. Eve says, wait, Tom has that Zone channel now? Yeah. Like, it's a gaming, like, it's not like a YouTube channel. It's more like a Twitch channel. Like, he streams in the evenings. I don't remember what his username is, but he seems to be doing really well. So with all this in mind, the schedule for the content is no longer sustainable, and it's time to change course. So, here's the first change. For the autism content, it used to be 2 times a month on Saturdays. Now, it will be whenever the video is ready. That means the content could come later. It could come sooner. Who knows? It all depends on what's going on. Because not only am I trying to do content, but I'm also trying to, do voice acting, my job. And I'm also going to be going to the gym starting next week. So that's going to take some time. I'm also learning to do meal prep. So like cooking my own meals for the week so I don't go out as much. So there is, a lot going on. Let's see. Eve says, oh, kind of similar to a friend of mine named Doje Me. He's also autistic and makes Twitch videos. Oh, nice. Nice. Let's see. Squad HD Gaming says, also remember, we voted for you to do the soda challenge. Soda challenge. That was a very long time ago. I'm not sure if I remember the details. Yeah, maybe you can remind me about that. Now, the schedule is going to be whenever the autism video is ready. Now, as for the autism videos themselves, they're going to change too. As I said, the autism videos made me feel like the channel was becoming a one-trick pony. But there's also another issue. The issue of content sustainability. Over the course of 10 years, I've covered so many autism topics. So it kind of leaves me wondering, what else is there to cover? So the big worry about it is sooner or later, unless things keep popping up on trending and whatnot, what are we going to do? Like, do we just stay the course and hope the autism topics don't run out? Or do we try something different? So, here's what I came up with. The autism content is going to be very different. You'll still get the autism topic videos every now and then, However, they are not going to be the only type of autism content. And the videos are going to be shorter. Because the autism videos I did that were like 10 plus minutes, you gotta understand, that was never meant to be the norm. I was okay with making autism videos that were only about 5 to 7 minutes. That was the set goal. It's just I had a hard time filtering myself and, dialing back on how much to say in the script. So, the videos are going to be shorter. And then, if you look, there are also a couple other ideas. Eve says, ooh, autism news. That sounds interesting. So let me tell you a little bit about that. Many years ago, I did a little something called the Autism News Network. Or Tostemac Autism News. Yeah, I'll admit, it's not exactly a good sounding name for a series. I'll have to change that later on. But what I would do is I would find news articles about autism, read it with you, share my thoughts, and then leave it up to you. Now, after a while, I kind of stopped doing that, mostly because I kind of got bored with it. However, there's 2 things. 1, because of content sustainability. 2, actually 3 things. Number 2 is that there is this kind of trend going on in terms of content format where people are doing news in about 2 or 3 minute shorts that could fit in, like, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube shorts. So I want to try that out. And number 3, which I really should have counted better, number 3, is that there's a lot of negativity going on in the world right now. Like, there's just, everywhere you go, it always seems like bad news. There's bad news on CNN. There's bad news on Fox News. And I'm like, geez Louise, not everything has to be bad news. There's got to be some good news here and there. So, considering the need for more positive news for the autistic community, it's time to bring it back. So, sometimes you'll get autism topic videos. Other times, you may get autism news, depending on what's there. So, it's not going to be, organized like, one video is going to be autism topic, another one's going to be autism news. It's going to be as they come. So, what I'll do is, when I'm done with a video, I will let you know the night before in terms of what to expect, and it will be released the next day. Now, you may realize at the bottom, there's a question mark right there. What could it be? Before I tell you about that, I want to tell you what the first autism topic is going to be. One moment. Let's see. Switch over. Just wait, we're here. I'll be right back. Alright. As for the first autism topic, I've already decided, even before I planned out this live stream, this will be the first topic we go over. The first ever Barbie autism doll. Like, when I first heard about this from Daniel from the Aspie world, it became an interesting subject. And why am I sinking? My seat is sinking. Help me, I'm melting! Fix my chair again. One of these days, I'm going to get a new chair. Alright. So, the reason this is going to be the first autism topic was because I found the debate interesting. It got me thinking about stuff like, what I've done in previous content and, how people feel divided about this. But that kind of thing inspired me to make autism content again. Just the idea of like, oh, how do we, talk about this? Or what are the different things we need to know about? So this is the first one we're going to do. And you'll be happy to know the script is already finished. And sometime this weekend, I'll record the B shots. And then sometime throughout next week, I will record the rest of the lines for the autism video. So that's for that. There we go. Now, Eve says, oh, I've seen that Barbie doll before. Yeah, like it kind of grew massively in popularity. So we'll get to more of that in the autism video. Now, as for the question mark. The question mark is something I've never done before. And I'm going to be honest with you, I feel like I'm taking a risk with this one. Like, things could go really well or things could go really bad. So, in the video I made about, can I talk to you for a moment? No, the video I made about autism in 2026, in terms of like how to help and support autistic people in 2026, I made a note of two things. One, fostering enthusiasm for our originality, as being able to see autistic people as individuals, not just as a group. But I also made a point of providing them platforms. chances for people to have their voices heard, to tell their stories. So, with that in mind, I came up with this: special guest live streams, where I actually do a live stream interviewing an autistic person or someone related to an autistic person, and give them a chance to share their stories. But, who are the special guests, you may ask? Who indeed? I had some time to think about it, and my answer is you! That's right. You want a chance to have your voice heard, tell your stories, across social media for other people around the world to hear? Well, now's your chance. For the special guest live stream, I am opening the door to you, the viewers. This is your opportunity to have your voice heard, share your stories, share your talents, get other people to get to know you. And I believe in this way, not only can we work more towards autism inclusion, but it provides people a platform. Now, granted, my YouTube channel's not as big as like so many others, but you know, a platform can still work. And if you do get selected as a special guest, all I ask in return is, you know, maybe share the interview with other people, you know, tell other people about Tostemac, you know, just a little nudge, a little promotion, word of mouth, that kind of thing. Now, let me make something clear. Just because I am opening the floor to viewers like you for the special guest live streams doesn't mean it's gonna be whatever we want. We have to set some ground rules. All right? So here are the ground rules for the special guest live streams. Number 1, the special guest must either be autistic or related to an autistic. Now, the reason I put that there is because there are some autistics that may be nonverbal, that may have a hard time with communication, and maybe someone else needs to speak on their behalf. So that's why I put that there. And the reason I say the guest must be autistic or related to an autistic is because we're trying to help autistic people share their stories. If I were to just invite just about anyone here, then it wouldn't really seem like a platform to help autistic people, would it? It's one thing for other people to speak for autistic people or try to, but it's a whole nother thing when an autistic individual can speak for themselves, share their own stories. Now, rule number 2. The guest in question ideally must be over the age of 18 or 18 or above. If a guest is under the age of 18, they must have a parent or caregiver with them. There is no negotiating on that point, because if someone's coming onto the stream or someone is showing up to be on the special guest live stream and they're like under the age of 18, I would much prefer it if there was a parent or caregiver there with them. You know, not only to make the guest in question more comfortable, or like if they need help saying something, you know, the parent can, you know, step in and say what needs or wants to be said. But also, you know, there's also that added certainty or security per se, so that the parents know, you know, what's going on, that they're actually involved in it. So if you're 18 or above, you'll be fine. If you're under 18 and want to give this a shot, your parents must be involved. No exceptions. So if you want to be a guest on the special guest live streams, email me at tostemac@gmail.com and we'll see what we can do. Now, rule number 3. Yeah, 3. I can count. Rule number 3. The stream session must be family friendly. That means no excessive cussing, No violence, no graphic stuff, none of that. Because remember, we are looking at viewers of, people around my age or people around like a decade younger or maybe a little bit more. Like, there are some of our viewers here who have said they are under 18. So we have to keep the sessions family friendly, all right? Plus, it helps make it look a lot more professional for other people to see, minor detail. And finally, the final rule is have an idea on what message you want to share. Think ahead of time what it is you want to say on the special guest live stream. Figure out what it is, what message you want to get out there. What story do you want to tell? Because odds are, this might be your only chance to do like a special guest live stream. Because like, what I'm worried about is if I give someone multiple special guest live streams, it might give the idea that I'm playing favorites, which I'm not. So, you really want to take some time to think about what it is you want to get out there. What's the message? All right? So, whenever we do have special guests, I will give a little bit more advance notice so that way you can be ready for the live stream. We'll go live. It'll be for about maybe less than an hour or so. And then afterwards, I will post the link to the stream session the next day so that other people can see it. All right? So, that's our new idea for autism content. Now, you might be thinking, Steven, I thought you were going to take it easy on yourself this year. This sounds like a lot. Not really. This is not about adding more to the load in terms of like what content I have to do. This is about giving me more creative freedom to do the kind of content I want and to not be stuck on just one format throughout an entire year. And in addition, you may find some other videos, like, maybe some short previews of autism videos like I started last year. There could be also travel vlogs because I mentioned I want to go to different parts of Colorado, or maybe like, but maybe also like, wanting to go to a convention, which I haven't done in years. So that could be another thing I want to do. So the content is going to be more diverse this year. And what this will do is give me a bit more relief in terms like, all the pressure, but also like giving me more diversity in terms like what kind of content I want to make. All right. So that is the announcement for all the content going forward. Oh, one more thing. For those of you who watch my live streams on the weekends, and I see a lot of you here, like, Eve, Z Creates, Connor, there's also like Zach, Sonic Gaming, there are a lot of people that watch the live streams on the weekends. You might be thinking, what's going to happen with the live streams? Don't worry. The live streams will remain as is. You'll still get the Saturday gaming streams on Saturdays after work. And then, on Sundays, you'll still get the Chow Garden live streams. I actually need to get some things ready for that because there's going to be some changes to that too. A couple minor changes, not big ones. So that's all the news there is for content. And let me get a quick drink first. Now then, let's move on to the next step, which is the membership program of the Tostemac Chow Club. It failed. And there's nothing wrong with that, because you can learn a lot more from your failures than your success. And as I was looking at the membership for the Tostemac Chow Club, a realization dawned on me. Two of them, actually. One of them being that, oh, Macaroon redeemed hydration. Macaroon, good to see you. Let me drink that real quick. Yeah, thank you, Macaroon. Now, two things I had to think of. Number one is that the economy is not really good right now. And I'm not just talking about America, but like, maybe different parts of the world too. Maybe it's so much so that those $5... Eve says, I think I've heard that saying before. What saying? Oh yeah, the learning more from your failures than your success. I mean, it's true, because with success, you don't really think about what went wrong. You're celebrating that things went right. But when something failed, you think more about it, like what went wrong, what failed, what could I do better next time, things like that. So with the economy as it is right now, maybe those $5 might be a little too much. And the second one is that, maybe I wasn't offering what people wanted, or maybe not offering enough, maybe offering the wrong stuff. So I had some time to think. How do we change the membership? Now keep in mind, the membership has not... What the... No. Now keep in mind, the membership changes have not gone up yet. The membership changes will most likely begin on Saturday evening when we have that next live stream. I think we gotta do Sonic Frontiers still. So Saturday evening will be when the new membership starts. But I am going to show you what those memberships look like right now. Look at that. So a lot more involved than just what I had previously. And I guarantee you, with these different tiers, not only does it offer more affordability, but, Laura Webster says, I'm actually kind of new to Tostemac. I subscribed to you during one of your Sonic Frontier streams. I'm glad I discovered you that night because I'm autistic and your videos are very helpful. That's awesome. That's fantastic. Thank you. It's like that's the kind of things I was talking about, like the fact that you guys really enjoy the content and like gain something of value from it. That's what drives me to, keep making content, whether it be autism or the live stream. So yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. So with the membership tiers, not only will there be different pay ranges, so that way, you could do what's affordable to you, but you're going to get a lot more depending on, what you get. Plus, it's a lot more clear, too. So let's start at the entry level of the Tostemac Chow Club. At $1.99 a month, only $2, just $2, that's it. You will get Tostemac emotes and Tostemac badges. What does that do? During the live streams, whether it be for YouTube live streams, you can use these emotes during the streams, to showcase different emotions like, or hey, or yeah. And there could be more emotes on the way. In fact, I should probably talk to Aline about that. We'll see. Now for the badges. You may have noticed that the badges look a bit familiar. That's because the badges here are the evolution of how Tostemac came to be. It was like the journey of how Tostemac became what it is today. And now it's your turn. The longer you're subscribed, the higher quality your badge will grow. Because I think the one on the far left is like for 1 month. And then like the yellow one that's more clear, I think that's about like 2 or 3 months. The silver one is, it's like I don't remember, but it's like I know the yellow ones are at least about a year. That I do remember. Like I'll have to check it later. So the badges let me know that you are a member of the Tostemac Chow Club, and it'll be easier to see your comments in the event where the channel grows higher. Eve says, aw, the emotes look so cute. I know, right? Ali did such a great job. Now, the other two things you will get at the entry level are member-only posts. So in the member-only post, I will be posting, progress reports on how the content is doing. So even though you may not know when the release date will be for the autism content, if you are a member, you can actually see how the progress is going, so you have a pretty good idea on when the content will be released. And you can actually see it being made right before your eyes. There will also be posts about, what do you think the next autism topic will be? Or, maybe there's, some polls that I only do for members, Could be anything there. Then finally, you will get credit in the content. What does that mean? Originally, that was shoutouts in my autism videos. But as I said earlier, I'm trying to make the autism videos shorter. That means I have to change it up so I'm not doing that segment in the video where I'm doing the shoutouts anymore. Instead, your username will show up in the credit list of my video. So you'll still get, the recognition for being a member of the Chow Club. It's just that your username will just show up in the videos as part of the credit. So a little different, but still the same. So you get all of that for just $2 a month. Next is the VIP section of the Chow Club. With this, for just $2.99 a month, which is $3, Eve says, Steve, let me just say the emos looks just like you and they're so cute. I know, right? Now, with the VIP club, you get everything from the entry level. Plus, you get access to a special room that's going to be made in the Tostemac Discord group. And that is called... Secret says, I just realized it probably won't be too long until I could probably join this part-time job. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and that's part of the reason why I made these different tiers, because I want to make it affordable to all of you. So that way you can still show support, you can get access to the emotes, the badges, all that stuff, but you could do it at a level that you can afford, which was one of the big mistakes I made originally. But hey, we all make mistakes, we learn from them. Now, what is the VIP lounge? As you know, on Discord groups, there are these group chats or voice channels where you can join a group and just chat about whatever. This VIP lounge will be different because this will be a private Discord chat group where only VIP and above will have access to. Nobody else. The way I do that is that I assign roles to whoever. If I want to make Billy and Sean VIPs because they're my best friends. I mean, they are VIPs and MVPs in a different way, so that they would have access to the VIP lounge where whenever I'm editing an autism video, I may pop up there and you can chat with me as I'm editing the video. I can't show you the video, but we can still chat for a bit. So maybe something like that will help me, sit still during the content editing so I'm not pacing so much, but we'll see. Then finally, we have, for $4.99 a month, the original $5, you get access to the MVP. God, my face looks so weird. Lounge. So, with the MVP, you get everything from the entry perks. You get access to the VIP lounge and more. Because, for those who do the MVP, you will get a personalized thank you video from me, personally. Maybe you want a simple thank you, maybe you want words of encouragement, or maybe you want a pat on the back on a job well done. Whatever that message will be, I can make that video about 30 seconds to a minute and then send it to you, and that video is yours. Brian Hall from Help Autism Center, he has been a member ever since the very beginning. So technically, he will be grandfathered into the MVP section. So he's going to get a personalized video from me thanking him. Also, my screen got a little darker. And if you ever wanted to, those in the MVP section get to request for me to do a live stream of a certain game within reason. If it's playable on the Nintendo Switch 2 or on the PC, and if it is within reason and family friendly, I will do it. Now, does that mean it could be a series? Not necessarily. It could be just, let's try and see what happens. So, those in the MVP section can make a request in order to live stream a certain game that they would want to see. But that's only for those in the MVP section. So, those are all the tiers. And they will go into effect, hopefully, Saturday evening. Because, or maybe sooner. Because, like, I heard you could change the perks of a tier and add new tiers. I just gotta set the time to do it. So, those are the tiers. Now, for this final announcement, I gotta turn this music off. And I'm looking for a different kind of music now. I probably should have figured this out beforehand, but oh well. There we go. All right. So. Not that one. So the final announcement is a big one. And there's a reason I say that. I should. Sorry, let me just type this really quick. Catcraft says, I might get your MVP plan one day. Well, that's awesome. But yeah, it's like, it is entirely up to you. It's like, the reason I set those different tiers was so that way, you know, it's whatever is affordable to you. Is this it? Yeah, I think this is it. Okay. Now, for the final announcement. The month of April. Those who've been here a while know that I do something different for the month of April each year. And for those that are new, I'll explain why. Kakar says, but not like as a monthly thing, for like a month of it. That's fine. No, it's okay. There's no need to apologize. It's all good. Like, literally, every little bit helps. So, that's all good. Now, the month of April is something special. For those who've been here recently, I'll explain it again. The month of April is known as Autism Awareness and Acceptance Month. But for someone like me, who does autism content on the regular, that's pretty redundant or repetitive for me. So, instead, what I do for the month of April each year is I do something new. Something I haven't done before, whether it be a new kind of video like those Yu-Gi-Oh! Speed Duel videos that I did with Thomas a while back, or like the videos I did to address COVID-19, or the set of videos I did in terms like, how to get a job and keep it. So this year is no exception. And I dare say that this one will be the most special April of them all. And the reason is... Right. Let me turn on the audio so you can hear it. April will be Star Fox Event Horizon Month. That's right. Some of you may or may not know, but I am actually a voice actor for a fan-made project called Star Fox Event Horizon. You may have heard about it. Now you'll get to see me play it. So, for the month of April, on Saturdays and Sundays, I will be streaming Star Fox Event Horizon, doing a playthrough of my own. And the goal is to get through as much of this game as I can. And I'll tell you, this game is massive. There's a lot of love and attention that is given to this game. Not just with the voice actors, but the man, or should I say the ice cream man himself. So, there is a lot in this. Eve says, "No way, I didn't know you were a voice actor too." Yeah, I've been working on this for a couple years now. In this game, let me switch up the, there we go. Now, for this game, I play multiple characters. I play Rob64, the robot. I play some Cornerian pilots here and there. I play Sarah Marine, which is the Zonus boss in Zonus, that's it. And I also play an original character named Captain Kobold, which is not until later on. Zekrit says, "Insert moist critical gif here." And the beautiful thing about Star Fox Event Horizon is you don't need to know anything about Star Fox to know what's going on here. And if you have played the games before, it gives you a new experience, because this game takes you through the events of Star Fox 64, Star Fox Adventure, and a little something extra later on. I won't spoil it yet. But in this alternate story where anything can happen, and some surprises eventually do. So it is a love letter to a Nintendo franchise that so many people still love to this day, and I am honored to be a part of this. So now, you will get to see me stream this game and play it live. So the reason why I say Saturdays and Sundays, sorry Chow Garden streams, is that this game is huge. There's no telling how long this will take. So I want to give it as much time as possible. Get through it as much as I can. Now, there is one more thing. There is one more thing. The Star Fox Event Horizon group also has voice chat in their Discord groups. So while I'm streaming, I'm also going to be in the Discord group. And you never know. Every now and then, we might have a special guest. Maybe someone in the Discord group. Maybe some voice actors that are also involved in this project. Who knows? I've already spoken about this idea to Ice Cream Man, the creator of Star Fox Event Horizon, and he gave the thumbs up. So we're good to go on that. So, you can expect that playthrough starting April. So, that's really exciting. I'm really looking forward to it. And I hope you're looking forward to it too. So, that is all the announcements we have for the 10-year anniversary for Tostemac. And you know, we only grow if we grow together. So I really hope that the content that I've set up for this year is going to be something you love and enjoy and want to share with others to help Tostemac grow. The previous years no, the previous years have been about making Tostemac bigger, like the biggest year that we had. But this year, instead of making it the biggest year, let's make it the best year. You with me? All right. So, that concludes the presentation part of the video. If anyone has any questions about anything I've listed here, feel free to do so. I'll be here for about a little bit longer, because a little later on I got to get started on exercising and whatnot. Laura Webster says, what is the game about? So the Star Fox universe follows a small group of mercenaries, Fox McCloud, Peppy Hare, Slippy Toad, and Falco Lombardi, as they soar across the Lilat system on like an adventure to take out whichever villain is in the arc. Like in the Lilat Wars arc, it's Andross. For the Adventures arc, it's General Scales. So that's the basic premise of the Star Fox franchise. Now, Event Horizon is going to be a little bit different. So if you've played the Star Fox games before, I will tell you this. Don't expect things to play out the same, because it won't. So hopefully that answers your question. If there are any more questions on like either YouTube or the Twitch side, you know, feel free to ask. It could be about, you know, the game we're going to be playing. It could be about, you know, the autism content, the membership, anything really. Connor the Dragon says, question, do you have any plans to celebrate Sonic's 35th anniversary? Well, the main thing I'm kind of banking on for the 35th anniversary is that I have this strong feeling that Sega, I should say, is going to be releasing a, no, I say might be, I should say. Let me rephrase. Yeah. So, for the 35th anniversary of Sonic, I'm hoping that Sega releases a new mainline Sonic game, and we do a playthrough of that. Because, like, I do, the thing is, like, I already do, you know, Sonic streams already. Like, you know, the Sonic Frontiers, the Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, and also the Chow Garden live streams. So I already do plenty of Sonic content already. So I'm not really sure, like, what else I could do special unless there was a new Sonic game coming out this year, which I'm pretty sure there might be. Macaroon says, when are we going to play Space Marine 2 or Dark Tide? To answer that question, Macaroon, that will be... Well, I'm sure we could probably rope in Billy if he has time, but ideally I was kind of waiting for like Sean to get better, and I do have an update on that. Now, for those of you last year, you may have heard that Sean wasn't really doing that well, but I do have some good news. Good news is Sean is on the mend. Sean's doing much better now. Hasn't fully recovered yet, but he is getting better. So, that's some great news right there. So, like, when Sean gets better, like, I do want to get back to that board game, that Pokemon fan-made board game. I don't forget, you got me addicted to that Pokemon board game. You did this, Macaroon. So I do want to get back to that, but, he says you're welcome. But, yeah, when Sean fully recovers, we could try a little bit of Dark Tide. How about that? Like, I can install it for a little bit. Like, maybe I have to uninstall World of Warships. We can try Dark Tide for a little bit. Like, I also want to do the Pokemon fan-made board game. But also, you know, there's also that other mech game you were talking about. I want to also try that. So it's like, for me, it's going to be uninstalling and reinstalling games. So, like, that's how it's going to be. So, hopefully that answers your question. And Eve says, are you excited? Zcreed says, Poke D&D. That's essentially what it is. That's essentially what it is. Like, me, Mac, Sean, and Billy have already put so much time into this Poke D&D game that we cannot abandon it now. We are too deep. I know that feel. Macaron says, I know that feel. I have to juggle game installs all the time. So you do that too? That's actually a thing? I had no idea. Wow. Anyway, getting back to Eve's question. Eve says, are you excited for the Super Mario Galaxy movie? Also, are you going to see it? You know I'm going to see it. But yeah, absolutely. I'm absolutely excited for the Mario Galaxy movie. Because, like, you know, not only is it like a continuation of the first Mario movie, which was already amazing, but it's like what they were showing in the trailers, especially the more recent trailer, the one with Yoshi, they're giving this so much love. And Illumination's really building a reputation for, like, you know, creating the video game world in movie format. They're getting really good at it. So I'm definitely going to see it, but it's not going to be on April 1st. Because, like, the reason being is that I was under the assumption it was like April 16th, but apparently Illumination's feeling so confident that they're going to release it April 1st. So, unfortunately, that's a Wednesday, and I can't really afford to keep taking days off. So, like, unless something changes, I'll probably see the movie on Friday, the following Friday. But if something does change and I'm able to take that day off, we'll see. No promises. So, we'll see when we get there. So, hopefully that answers your question, but I'm very excited for that movie. I wish I could see it day one, but we'll see. We'll see. Oh, God. Macaron says, I think we're 25 hours into the Johto War. You've been keeping track of the time? I'm surprised. Like, I didn't think anybody was keeping track of the time. I just know we spent so much time in it. Wait, does that include with or without the restart we had to do? Because, the first time me, Mac, Billy, and Sean did the Johto War board game, what happened was I drew a disaster card that really messed us up early on. Like, so bad, we had to restart the whole thing. Let's see. Laura Webster says, question about autism. Why do I pretty much only feel comfortable around autistic/ADHD people? In my opinion, and yeah, this is just my opinion, I'm not a medical professional by any means, it could be that, you know, you can relate to other autistic people or others with, you know, ADHD. You might be able to relate to them much more easier than others. You know, like with me, you know, my best friends, Billy and Sean, I believe Billy has ADHD, and Billy's okay with me mentioning that. And, you know, there's also Sean, I think, well, I'm not gonna guess, I'll ask him next time. But, like, me, Billy, and Sean, we got along so well because, and part of it's because we came from similar backstories. We're both, you know, not neurotypicals. So it's like, it's easier for us to get along, but that doesn't mean that it's impossible to make friends with neurotypical people. So, like, with me, let's see. There are some friends that I have here, or a couple of friends, I should say. I don't have many friends here in Colorado, that are neurotypical, and we get along just fine. And there's also, a lot of friends that I left behind in Maryland. We still keep in touch, and a lot of them are neurotypical. It's just, and this isn't even, and part of it isn't even about autism in particular. It's more about just having those shared traits with other people. Being able to understand other people's backgrounds because you yourself were there at some point too, or maybe still going through it. It could be those similar experiences that, that kind of bring you guys together as friends. So that could be one way. And, I definitely don't want to say, like, common hobbies or having certain likes in common to be too dependable for making friends. Because, like, there could be two people that like a similar thing, but they end up hating each other. So that's a possibility. So I guess with, making friends with someone outside of your circle, for lack of a better word, could be more difficult because, there's this unknown factor. Like, you don't know where that person came from or like their likes or dislikes. So like, there is this unknown factor to take into account when you're talking to not just neurotypicals, but also, people that are so different from you. But just because someone is so different from you, that doesn't mean you guys can't be friends. It's just that, you gotta figure some things out. Same with everybody else. So that is my opinion in terms of like why you might feel more comfortable around other autistic people or other ADHD people, is because you came from those similar backgrounds. You might have similar likes. You might have similar experiences that kind of build towards a friendship. So those are my thoughts on the matter. So hope that answers your question. Let's see, Z Create says, oh, so that's why I've been hearing Voltorbs exploding outside? I have no idea what you're talking about. That wasn't Voltorbs, Macaroid, well, I told you about getting rid of those Voltorbs. Why haven't you gotten rid of them yet? Hey, Sharon Starkey, good to see you. We just got finished with the presentation in terms of like how Tostemac is going to be for the 10-year anniversary. But don't worry, I'll be posting the link to the presentation tomorrow, so that way those who missed it can be brought up to speed on, what's going on. Right now, I'm just, taking questions from the audience, seeing if anyone else has any thoughts about the new changes or like random questions about, whatever. And Macarine says, because I enjoy your suffering. Yeah, thanks. Let's see. Laura says, I'm talking about when I first meet someone. Well, when you first meet someone, when you're first meeting someone, you don't really have much to go on, So it's like you're just starting to get to know someone, and you're trying to find some similarities between you two. So like it could be something you like doing as a hobby. It could be, maybe both of you are autistic. So it's like when you're meeting someone new, autistic, neurotypical, or otherwise, it's kind of figuring out where the two of you connect. What are some things that both of you can talk about without making the conversation awkward? So, again, this is all my thoughts on the matter. But hopefully that answers your question. So it's like meeting someone and like knowing they come from a similar background to you can make it a little bit easier to relate to them and have those conversations and form that friendship. So those are my thoughts on the matter. All right, I'll give it about a few more minutes if anyone else has any more questions. Otherwise, we could just go ahead and wrap it up here. Oh, while you guys are thinking about any last minute questions, I'm going to get some water because I am thirsty. I'll be right back. Okay. Alright, so no more questions? Alright. So, did my chair sink again? I swear, I gotta get a new... Yeah, there we go. I swear, I gotta get a new chair at some point. But not one of those executive office chairs, because they keep breaking on me. Oh, come on. I'm not even trying. Seriously, this is not a joke. Like, I'm not doing that on purpose, I swear. Okay. Okay, we're good. So, before I go, I'm gonna say one last thing. Are you kidding me? This isn't even comical anymore. Stop it! Okay, I gotta go to a nearby Walmart and get a replacement. This is the last time I deal with this nonsense. Alright, so one last thing before I go. This Saturday, we will have a live stream because we gotta get through Sonic Frontiers. But Sunday, we will not have a live stream because it's the Super Bowl. So, don't judge me. So Sunday is the Super Bowl, so we will not have a live stream this coming Sunday, but next Sunday. All right? Laura Webster says, I just moved. I have to make new friends. I remember doing a video about that like years ago. I'm just not sure if that's... I mean, I could probably get you like a link to that video. Here, let me see if I can find it. Now, mind you, it is many, many years old, and you know, it might be a little outdated, but hopefully it helps. Let's see. There we go. So let me get that to you real quick. So feel free to check that out. You know, let me know what you think. There we go. And yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap it up from here. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. You know, I know it's a lot of information to take in, and the chair is sinking again. I've had it with this chair. Connor says the chair is trolling you. Well, I am not enjoying this. You hear me, chair? I am not enjoying this. Anyway, so thank you for watching. I will post the presentation tomorrow. Oh, don't worry, Eve. Don't worry, Eve. He's not. Yeah, Connor's not judging. He's just joking around. That's all. No worries. So, thank you for watching. I'll see you Saturday, and you know, keep you posted on like autism content. I'm definitely getting this useless thing replaced because I'm tired of this thing. And yeah, thank you for watching. Have a good night, and I will see you next time. Stupid chair.